1,000 apologies, Mom.
Catherine, do take this pin out of my sleeve. It was not your fault, sir.
Allow me.
Oh. Thank you kindly, sir. Though I'm afraid it's torn a hole already.
There. Nothing too disastrous, Mum.
I shall be sorry if it has, for it's a favourite gown.
Really, Mrs. Allen, Mum would hardly notice.
No, it cost but 9 shillings a yard.
9 shillings? That is exactly what I should have guessed.
Do you understand muslins, sir?
I understand them very well. My sister has often entrusted me in the choice of a gown. I bought one for her only the other day. 5 shillings a yard, and a true Indian muslin. What do you make of that?
Well, and I can never get Mr. Allen to tell one of my gowns from another. But tell me, sir, what do you think of Miss Morland's gown?
Miss Morland's gown? Miss Morland's gown is very pretty. Though I don't think it'll wash well. I'm afraid it will fray.
How can you be so...
presumptuous? Indeed, without so much as an introduction. You must allow me to make amends, Mrs. Allen. Gentlemen.
Thank you. Very kind indeed.
One moment.
What a very... Really, I shouldn't have allowed you to speak to him as a stranger. But he had such an understanding of muslin.
I wonder where he's gone.
Oh, here he comes again.
And he's brought Mr. King with him, the master of ceremonies himself.
Mrs. Allen, Miss Morland, allow me to present to you Mr. Henry Tilney, just lately arrived in Bath.
Mrs. Allen, Miss Morland, delighted to make your acquaintance. Mr. King. Now we may talk to one another.
We've already been talking.
You mustn't allow anyone to hear you say such things. We shall all be expelled from polite society. Let it be our secret. And now, if your card is not already full, Miss Morland, might I request the pleasure of the next dance with you?
With me? Thank you.
Forgive me. I have been very remiss in the proper attentions of a partner.
What are they?
Oh, I ask you how long you've been in Bath. Have you been to the theatre, concert, and so on?
Wouldn't that be rather dull?
Of course. We must do our duty. You ready?
Yes.
How long have you been in Bath, madam?
Not long at all, sir.
Were you never here before?
Never, sir.
Indeed. And have you been to the play?
Not yet, sir.
Astonishing. Concert?
No.
Amazing. Now tell me, am I altogether pleased with Bath, madam?
Yes. I like it very well.
Excellent. Now I must give you one smirk, and then we can be rational.
Do you know that gentleman?
Not at all.
I wonder why he keeps looking at us.
I imagine he likes what he sees.
What? Do you mean me?
Why not? So tell me, what will you write in your journal tonight? Friday went to the lower rooms, wore my sprigged muslin dress with blue trimmings. Looked very pretty, though I say so myself. Danced with one man, was stared at by another. Much more handsome.
Indeed, I shall say no such thing.
Then what shall you say?
Perhaps I don't keep a journal at all.
A most agreeable young man, was he not, Catherine?
Yes. He was very kind and very amusing. I liked him very much.
Well, Mr. Allen?
No, I didn't mean anything like that. He can't have thought of me like that. He's quite grown up.
Catherine, I feel I should warn you that Bath attracts all manner of scoundrels and adventurers, and one cannot be too careful when making new acquaintances.
Mr. Tilney, a scoundrel. Mr. Tilney, an adventurer. He understands muslin, Mr. Allen. He has a sister.
Well, upon inquiries, I did discover that Mr. Tilney is a young man of very good family, and a clergyman to boot.
Clergyman?
Well, no doubt you prefer him to be a brigand. His father's a man of consequence, though. General Tilney of Northanger Abbey.
Northanger Abbey? Is it haunted?
No doubt, no doubt. These abbeys usually are.
Mrs. Allen? And this must be Miss Morland. Mrs. Thorpe, your brother James told me to look out for you.
You know James?
Indeed we do. He's up at Oxford with my son John.
Mrs. Thorpe, my old schoolfellow.
Yes, he went to you at Christmas.
And I may say he endeared himself to us all. Ah, here come my girls now. Isabella, my eldest, and Maria and Anne. Isabella, this is Mrs. Allen and Miss Catherine Morland, James's sister.
James's sister. How do you do, Miss Morland?
I've so long wished to meet you. Your brother has spoken of you so affectionately. I am sure that we will be the very best of friends. I'm so pleased you love Mrs. Radcliffe novels too. I wish I were you. Just beginning to read Udolpho for the first time.
Is it really very horrid?
You can't even imagine. But I wouldn't tell you for the world. Well, perhaps one incident to whet your appetite.
Can such things really happen?
Well, just think of Lord Byron.
I've heard that he is very wicked, but I don't know exactly what he's supposed to have done.
And I have heard that he is here, in Bath. Should we go to the pump room and see if we can see him? Perhaps your Mr. Tilney will be there too.
He's not my Mr. Tilney, Isabella. Indeed, you mustn't say he is.
Isn't he? Well, there's a certain person who will be very glad to hear that.
Who do you mean?
Never you mind. I do so hate it when strangers listen to one's private conversations.